Driver Parallel Lines, a forgotten classic from the mid-2000s and a unique entry in the Driver series. Unlike its predecessors, this title ditched the linear cinematic structure of Driver 3 and embraced an open-world design, setting itself apart not only within the franchise but among all other driving games of the era. The story and setting: in Driver Parallel Lines, you play as a getaway driver in New York, but what makes the narrative stand out is how it unfolds across two distinct time periods, the 1970s and the 2000s. This time jump adds a fresh narrative twist, letting you experience two eras of crime, culture, and car chases in one game. The tone shifts significantly between decades. The 70s are vibrant with classic cars, funky fashion, and a rebellious energy. 2000s, on the other hand, feel colder and more clinical, matching the darker tone of the story's second half. For me, the story was genuinely engaging. Without giving anything away story-wise, I'm a sucker for tales of betrayal and revenge, and Parallel Lines delivers on that front. The time shift adds emotional weight even without driving into major plot twists or arcs. When it comes to gameplay and mechanics, this is where Driver Parallel Lines really shines. Driving is the core of the game and it feels clean and slightly arcadey in a good way. Whether you're speeding through tight city streets or evading cops, the handling is intuitive. Even today, it holds up surprisingly well. Combat is more fun than expected. Shooting while driving is especially satisfying. Just aim and fire. There's no complicated system here, but that's part of the charm. You can even pull off small exploits like diving into water to lose the cops and respawning safely on land. Sometimes they fall in with you, giving you a lucky escape. Mission variety includes shootouts, car chases, races, and missions involving sabotage like planting bombs. The variety is decent for its time, though many missions fall into the action-heavy or driving-heavy categories. Police system is dynamic. If you drive recklessly, speeding, crashing, driving on the wrong side, the cops will come after you. It adds tension, especially during open-world cruising. Quite a lot of the time I drive well when passing the police, when I just want to get to my next destination and start the next mission. When it comes to vehicle customization, it is present too. You can upgrade cars using money earned from side missions, though I didn't find it essential for progression. I mostly prefer to steal whatever I needed and focus on the main missions themselves. Next up, we have the world design. Set in New York, the game gives you a well-realized map that evolves with the time period. The 1970s version of the map is colorful, warm, and brimming with personality. Retro shops, vintage vehicles, afros, flared pants. It's like stepping into a classic crime movie. In contrast, 2006 New York feels colder with a blue-tinted aesthetic that mirrors the main character's emotional state, older, hardened, and seeking revenge. The vibe shift is subtle but powerful. You'll notice era-specific details everywhere: modern cars, different NPC behavior, weapons, fashion. It all contributes to immersion. Exploring the city is enjoyable, though the lack of GPS can make navigation frustrating compared to modern standards. Still, the map itself is laid out well and captures that gritty New York atmosphere. And when it comes to audio visuals, soundtracks play a big role in immersion. The 1970s era has a funky, soul-infused background score that perfectly matches the vibe. The 2006 era leans into early 2000s hip-hop and rap music, setting a more serious tone. Voice acting is solid, especially for a game of its time. Characters sound believable, and the sound design during chases and gunfights adds tension. Graphics, however, show their age. While it runs fine on modern systems, I played it on a PC with an RTX 2060 Super graphics card. The texture pop-ins are hard to ignore, and some environmental details feel dated. So, what holds up versus what doesn't? This is what holds up. Driving and shooting is still fun, even in 2025. Dual-era storyline adds freshness. The atmosphere and world are immersive. And what doesn't hold up? There's no cover system in shootouts. Sometimes we've come, in modern games, something we've come to expect from modern action games. It feels awkward now, but was standard back then, where nowadays you have, you can get into cover during shootouts. Back then you couldn't. In this game you can't. You have to kind of run behind a wall and just stay there. The health system doesn't regenerate either. You have to collect health kits, which forces you to be more cautious with gameplay. Acceptable for the era again, but harsh for today's standards. You have to almost manage your health as if you're managing your money in real life. But I guess that's a lesson for real life right there. Texture pop-ins and lack of sprint button remind you that it is an old game. And there are subtle differences between the 70s and 2006 cars. The 70s cars are louder and feel clunkier, intentionally so. 2006 vehicles are quieter and more refined, reflecting technological progress. However, handling between eras feels mostly similar, so the difference is more aesthetic than mechanical. When I replay this game, maybe after a long break, who knows, it's a forgotten classic for sure and worth revisiting, but once the story is over, there's not a strong reason to return, unless you're doing side missions purely to earn money for car upgrades. But there's no fun in it, there's no end game, you don't actually unlock anything, so I can't really say. There's no real post-game draw like collectibles or hidden surprises. Still, the world is fun enough to just cruise around if you're feeling nostalgic enough. Performance on modern systems, like I said, I played on a PC using a more than capable setup for this game with a graphics card, an NVIDIA RTX 2060 Super. Something that would probably struggle to run current games in 4K, but obviously games from back then are doing it in its sleep. It runs perfectly, no frame drops, smooth gameplay, but again the age of the textures is noticeable despite the smooth performance. But for the map size and layout for its time, the map feels largely large, should I say. It's not GTA 5 level big, but it's densely packed and full of life. Navigation, however, is a pain without GPS. After experiencing modern games with waypoints and on-screen routes, it's hard to go back to blind driving. That said, New York in the game feels very real. They even call it New York, not a parody name like Liberty City from, GTA 3 and GTA 4. And when it comes to immersion and vibes, yes, the game absolutely sucks you in. The world feels alive, especially in the 70s. That era's music makes cruising through the city a vibe on its own. In contrast, the 2006 era feels colder, more serious. This duality reflects the main character's journey and mindset beautifully throughout the two time periods. Driving and shooting balance. The game leans heavily towards driving as expected. After all, that's obviously the core of the series. That's what the game is called, Driver. But shooting sections are frequent enough to add balance. Could it have gone further with shooting mechanics? Possibly. A cover system would have been helped. It would have helped, but it wasn't common at the time. So you can't just forget and forgive, really. Or forgive and forget, should I say. The progression system, there's a basic money and upgrade system tied to side missions. You can use cash to customize and improve vehicles. But honestly, I never really felt compelled to use it much, as I was just happy to grab a random car and jump into the next mission. When it came to guns, they give it to you free in your safe house, and I don't think there's any way you can buy guns in the game, as at least I didn't see any. So there's no real skill progression in the game, no driving skill increases, no perks, nothing. For me, I was just compelled to do the main missions and that. For my final thoughts, Driver Parallel Lines is absolutely worth playing in 2025, in my opinion. In 2005, this game did not exist. It was probably getting made as it was released in 2006. But especially if you're a fan of retro open world games, it's definitely worth a go. It's got a great story, strong vibes, and satisfying driving mechanics. Surely it shows its age, no sprint button, no cover system, and texture pop-ins. But if you can look past that, you'll find a forgotten gem that holds up surprisingly well. So it's for retro gamers, fans of the Driver series, players who love open world crime stories or open world games in general, like I love them myself. Anyone who's nostalgic to play early to mid 2000 game designs. Fans of GTA style games who want a slightly different flavor, I'd ask them to give a go as well. And if you love a good revenge story, immersive time periods, and driving through British streets, Driver Parallel Lines is still a solid pick in 2025. And it's something that I did enjoy playing. I think towards the end, I just wanted it to finish. I think there was a point where I kind of just wanted to move on. But yeah, other than that, during the middle of it, beginning of it, I really did enjoy it. And yeah, guys, let me know what other games you'd like me to see me play and review, and let me know what you like. I'd really like to hear you in the comments and see what I could try next. But guys, yeah, thank you for joining this review, and I will see you again in the next one.